Hi everyone, welcome to TechIsrael Academy. In this video, we are going to be talking about the CSS opacity, that is the CSS image opacity. The opacity property specifies the opacity or transparency of an element. The opacity property can take a value from 0.0 to 1.0. So this is how it works. The 0.0 element will be completely transparent. The 0.5 element will be 50% transparent. And the 1.0, which is default, will be fully opaque. So this is it. So now let's move to the next one, which says opacity and over. The opacity property is often used with the over to change the opacity on mouse over. Then we have the next one, reverse over effect. So let's create an opacity for this one. We can comment all of this one out. Okay, we can leave it. Then we'll come here, we'll say p tag Abby. Then we'll come here, we'll say h2, and inside here we are saying the opacity property. Then inside this opacity property, we have a p tag. We'll say the opacity property specifies the opacity of an element. Then after that, we have a p tag. Then in this p tag, we would say image with 50% opacity, with 50% opacity. Then after that, we're going to have an image here. We can use 3 with width of we can probably give it width of 170. We can probably give it width of 170 pixel, and we can give it height of 100 pixel. 100 pixel. Now let's check it out. So we are going to style it. I hope we don't have any image here taking effect. So we are going to style it and say dot, not even dot, image img. We are giving an opacity of 0.5. Now let's check it out. I hope you can see how the opacity works now. So that is that for that. So in this aspect, we are going to be doing, that is just normal opacity. Now we'll be doing opacity and over. So let's come here. We are going to be creating 3 different images. So I think we have, so in this aspect, we're going to be creating 3 different images. Let's just bring all of this. We have 1, 2, 3. Then instead of the 3, we have, instead of the 3, we have more. We can say dot slash orange is there. The all to be orange. Yes. Then we'll give, then this one too. We have the next one. We're not going to be making use of oranges in this aspect to say dot slash steph.jpg dot slash. Then we'll change this one to Steph. So just for the 3 of them. Then we are going to come here. Instead of this image, we've given it 0.5. Then we'll come here, image over, the opacity will be 1. That's 1.0. Now let's check it out for the 3 of them. So can you see? But when I over on it, it's giving us the real effect of that. So now that is for the opacity and over. Then if we want to do the reversed over effect, the only thing we need to do is that we've created all these elements already. Okay, let me recreate all of these elements in this place. I will just do the reverse over effect. Then this one will be the reverse. Then the next thing I just need to do is the H image over. So I would comment this. Then it will be image over, which it will be 0.5. Don't forget, in the next one, the image literally in the first one, we gave it over effect. But why, when we over on it, it will give us the actual. But in this one now, it is giving us the actual one. Then when we over on it, the opacity will be cleared. Now see, this is the usual one that we did. Now let's check the effect. Can you see? I'm showing it so you can understand better. Now let's change it. Now once we over on it, see the the reverse effect. Then the usual one, there was opacity before, and when we over on it, it gave us the real one. So now let's check the next one, which is a transparent box. When using the opacity property to add transparency to the background of an element, all child elements inherit the same transparency. This can make the text inside a transparent element hard to read. So this is an example. We have opacity 1, 2, 3. So let's create something around that. I will come here and I will give it H1 saying transparent boxes. Then after that, I can have a p tag and say when using the opacity property to add transparency to an element, all of the content will be made transparent. Let's just use that. Then we'll come here, we'll create a div. Then inside this div, we can say style background this thing, or we'll create a div, and inside this div we'll say opacity 0.1. Then the next one will be opacity 0.5, or we can say 0.3, 0.3, opacity 0.6. Then the next one will be opacity 1. Opacity 1. Then that's that. So I'll come here, give each of them class equals to, so one will be first, one will be second, third, and the fourth one will not have a class. So this one, literally, it is giving us the real opacity, which is default, which is the 1. So now let's tie it. Let's see what will be given to us. So we'll come here, we'll say div. Inside this div, we want to give it a background color of green. Then we are giving it a padding of 10 pixel. Padding of 10 pixel. So that is that. So now let's start styling div.first. We're giving it opacity of 0.1. We are giving it opacity of 0.1. Div.second. We are giving it opacity of 0.6. Yes. And the usual one is the one default. Now let's see what we have. Now, can you see the difference between the opacity? This is 0.1, 0.3, 0.6, and the opacity, which is the normal default, is 1. This is the initial color. I hope you understand that. Then let's move to the last one, which is transparency using background color. To not apply the transparency to child elements, you can use the background color property with a RGBA value, like we did something similar. Then RGBA values are an extension of the RGB color values with an alpha channel. Alpha works with opacity as well. You can use the RGBA, then the A is alpha, which is opacity, which specifies the opacity for a color. Then you can work your way around it. Just use this as your test. Then we have text in transparent boxes. This is some text that is spaced in the transparent boxes. You can also work around this as your assignment. Find a way to do something around it as well. So thank you for watching this video. Please do well to follow us across all socials at Tech Academy. See you next time. Bye.